DGFF, thank God for football. Game day. 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 You have tuned in to another episode of Thank God for Football, brought to you by the Fanboys, powered by Greenville Sports Media.
Hello everybody, this is Jay with TGFF Game Day. Just want to welcome you to our show this week, a special bowl preview and also CFP playoffs. We will hope that you enjoy it. We also want to thank our partners at Hyundai of Anderson. Go by, see Herschel in the group, use code HOA24, that's HOA24, that's Hyundai of Anderson, and they will give you a great deal. Also, we want to thank Donnie and Angie at, of course, our great sponsors at Arden's Burger and Grill in Central South Carolina. Go by, see them, get the world famous double dip wings, the Paladin burger, the Carolina caviar burger, you name it, they got it. That's Donnie and Angie over at Arden's Burger and Grill in Central South Carolina. We want to thank Upstate Physical Therapy. Go by, see David and Jimmy. We also want to thank Pepsi Cola. We want to thank all of our sponsors at True Victory, Seek Jesus, and also our cowboyrevolution.com. Go by, see them. You can go by, see all of our codes at greenvillesportsmedia.com. And also we want to thank Fresh, our producer, for doing such a great job this year. Let's get on with the show. Are you looking for a great place for camping and enjoying a lot of great people? Let me tell you about the Point RV at Lake Hartwell. That's right, the Point RV at Lake Hartwell in Townville, South Carolina. It is a great place to go camping, enjoy the wilderness with a great swimming pool, pavilion, game room, you name it, putt-putt. You can rent cabins, you can bring your trailer and hook it up. There's a tent area, you name it, they have it. That is the Point RV at Lake Hartwell. See them and you will go away happy. This is a rustic campground. Make sure you go to them. Tell them that Greenville Sports Media sent you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is JD, the Southern Fried Gentleman of Southern Fried Sports, coming to you live for GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. Listen, we got a whole group of people here. We're dropping all of our college football playoff picks, all of our bowl picks, our biggest games. And so that is exactly what I'm here to talk about with you guys this evening. Again, make sure to hit that like, follow, share, subscribe on GreenvilleSportsMedia.com and the Southern Fried Sports. Again, that's me, the gentleman. So let's see if we can get in and out of here in 8 minutes or less. So I wanted to start off with a few bowl games, a few appetizers, if you will. How about Vandy and Georgia Tech, man? Talk about two teams that overperformed throughout the season. This could be one of the best games of the year. We saw Vandy beat Alabama. We saw Georgia Tech take Georgia to 8 overtime games. This is going to be one of those bowl games that I think is highly paid attention to. It should be much anticipated. These are daggum two good teams at the end of the day. Period. End of discussion. So I will be paying attention to Vandy and Georgia Tech. Also, Virginia Tech and Maryland coming up, the final bowl game of the year. I'll be paying attention to that one too. I will be scouting out the Gamecocks next year's first opponent. Words are hard. Opponent. I will be scouting out Virginia Tech, though. Hopefully, I know the teams are going to be much different come game one next year. You never know what you're going to get in a bowl game with opt-outs and such. And so Virginia Tech, Minnesota, that is one game I'm highly looking forward to as well. And then, of course, the Gamecocks and the Fighting Illini. Hey, has anybody found any Fighting Illini fans? I haven't. I haven't been able to find a single one. There was a couple of little Barstool Fighting Illini pages, I think. They wanted to talk a little bit of smack. But for the most part, they're all hiding out, much like the Clemson Tiger fans did after the Gamecocks beat them. But as soon as Miami won, man, they came out the woodwork that night. Oh, we've got a chance to get into the playoffs. And so myself and Jay of Greenville Sports Media will be going live here at 8:30 this evening as well. Y'all might be watching this after the fact, so go back and check it later on. This is new to me. This is my first one of these I've done. Y'all bear with me. And so, how about let's get into the college football playoffs, though. Does anyone, if Texas can beat Clemson, does anybody have an easier road in their first two games than Clemson, 16th ranked but 12th seed, and then Arizona State, 12th ranked but number 4 seed? I mean, Texas, if they can somehow get by Clemson, the one thing I will pay much attention to in that game is going to be the sacks allowed. Quinn Ewers, he has an ankle brace on. His mobility is a little bit lacking at the moment. So I'm going to be very interested to see Clemson's pass rush versus Texas offense. I mean, like I said, they've given up sacks. It'll all be about running the ball, I think, at the end of the day. Clemson, their lack of ability to run the ball, I think might be the difference in the game. Maffa, we've seen, is banged up. Cade Klubnik, hey man, I would draw up a lot of plays for Cade to win. Listen, I don't know. Right now, though, I will go Texas wins this game. Clemson will keep it close. I'm going to go Texas wins it at home. I'm going to say home field makes the difference. But I really don't know. And talk about one I really don't know. Notre Dame and Indiana. Holy smokes. Is this like really as difficult as I think it is? Because I don't know about you guys, but I think this is probably one of the hardest playoff matchups to pick. Indiana hasn't really played anybody. Got beat by Ohio State pretty handily. And then you've got Notre Dame, though, who lost to Northern Illinois, but also beat Army, who was a daggum good team, and Navy, also another daggum good team. It takes a lot to beat those schools. But, I mean, as far as anybody in the top 10, top 12, Notre Dame didn't beat anybody either. So the hardest game for me right now to project is Notre Dame and Indiana. What say you guys? I say it's hard. I mean, they're both playing in the same state that they reside in. There isn't going to be much of a home field advantage, I don't think, even for Notre Dame. It may be. But like Kurt Signetti said, Google him. Find out what's up. I'm really torn on that game. At the end of the day, I will go Indiana over Notre Dame. So as of now, I've got Texas over Clemson, Indiana over Notre Dame, Penn State, SMU at home. Penn State, is this really even a question? Penn State, their lack of winning big games, yes. Penn State, they cannot win the big game. They're 1-11 or whatever it is against top 5 ranked opponents. Most of those names are Ohio State and Michigan. So it's kind of understood, but even then, they haven't been able to get over the hump. However, Penn State, give me Penn State over SMU fairly easily. And then the other game, the other one that was really hard for me to pick, Tennessee and Ohio State. Give me Tennessee. Tennessee has somehow found a way to manage to get Ohio State's fans tickets for this game. Ohio State will not have the home field advantage that they think they will. I think the first negative play, they will be booing Ryan Day very quickly and very rapidly. So give me Tennessee over Ohio State. As for now, though, that's all the picks I'm going to give you guys for today. I will go back, though, and see how right I was, how wrong I was, and then we'll look at the matchups coming up with Boise State against possibly Penn State, Arizona State versus whoever Texas and Clemson wins, Georgia over Notre Dame and Indiana. We will see what happens there. And then, of course, Oregon awaits a rematch possibly with Ohio State and Tennessee. But y'all, as for now, this is JD, the Southern Fried Gentleman of Southern Fried Sports. Those are my picks for the week. South Carolina wins bowl game. Vandy and Georgia Tech will be a dogfight. Give me Vandy. And then Virginia Tech, Minnesota will be a dogfight as well. Give me Virginia Tech. And then, hey, guys, y'all be blessed, not stressed. We'll see y'all again soon. And stay tuned for more content from Greenville Sports Media.
Are you looking for a great deal on a car? Look no further than Hyundai of Anderson. That's right, Hyundai of Anderson. Go by, see Herschel. He will treat you right. Tell him that GSM sent you. That's right, Greenville Sports Media. Tell him that Greenville Sports Media sent you, and you will get a great deal. I'm talking about one of the best deals you can ever get. That's Hyundai of Anderson. That is on Highway 28 bypass, right at the corner of Clemson Boulevard. Go see everybody over at Hyundai of Anderson. I just bought my new truck and I'll be showing it to you each and every week. That's right, I bought one myself and you can't believe the great deals they got at Hyundai of Anderson. They are a part of the Greenville Sports Media Network now, and we appreciate them being one of our sponsors because they give the great deals at Hyundai of Anderson. Goodbye. See them today. Tell Herschel and tell all of them that Greenville Sports Media sent you, and they will give you not one, but two great special deals. That's right. We'll even throw in something. That's right. Greenville Sports Media is going to take care of you. Make sure you go by see Herschel today. Hey, everybody, and welcome to TGFF Game Days. Special bowl predictions. I'm going to give a little bit of my version of the ACC. Of course, I usually do the Southern Conference with Furman, but because Furman is not in the conference, which we wish Mercer, the Mercer Bears, all the luck. They won last week, and they're going to be in the quarterfinals this week. So good luck to the Mercer Bears from the Southern Conference. But I'm going to kind of go over some of the ACC, and then I'm going to give my predictions on some of the playoff games. So here we go. First off, the first game we have is Cal versus UNLV. This is going to be in the Boca Raton Bowl. UNLV is ranked 24th. Cal coming in as an ACC team. I really don't know how they got in there because their record's not the greatest. But give me Cal over UNLV. I think Cal's just been one of those teams that just has not been able to get over the hump. But I think this win right here will help them going into next year. The next game we got is going to be Notre Dame and Indiana. Now, this is part of the playoffs. That's right. Part of the playoffs. It's the first game. This is going to be on Friday, December 20th. And it's going to be at Notre Dame. I don't think Indiana's going to be worried about the cold. They're saying it's supposed to be some freezing weather. But give me Notre Dame in this game over Indiana. I know there's a lot of people pulling for Indiana, but I really don't think that they're going to have enough to compete with Notre Dame in this game. Then on Saturday, we get the other three of the four playoff games. The first game is going to be SMU going to Penn State. Now, this is a matchup that I really am looking forward to. We all know when it comes right down to it, Penn State just cannot get over the hump and win the big games. They proved that in the Big Ten Championship. They proved it against Ohio State. They just, for some odd reason, cannot get over that hump, and I think it just stays that way this one. Give me SMU. That's right, SMU from the ACC over Big Ten product Penn State in this game. Next game up is Clemson versus Texas. Now, yes, I have my hat on right here, as everybody can see. This game is going to be close. I don't see either team. I hear people saying, "Oh, Texas is going to wipe Clemson, from the mat." Folks, that's not going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, Clemson is a strong team. And give me Clemson to go into Austin, Texas, and get the win. It won't be, but maybe by a point. But they're going to get the win. Dabo Swinney wants this. This program needs this, and I think Clemson wants it more than Texas in this particular reason. So give me Clemson over Texas. Next game is Tennessee going to Ohio State. Now, this is very interesting. I never thought I would see this game just because of the way these two teams play and the way they usually end up at the end of the year. If this was a 4-team playoff, of course, they wouldn't be playing each other. Ryan Day, after what happened at Michigan, and Tennessee has not been the greatest down the stretch. Both these teams are coming in limping, be honest with you. The one time I went with Ohio State, they lost to Michigan. So give me Tennessee in this game. Give me Tennessee over Ohio State. That's right, over Ohio State. A game that I want to talk about is give me Coastal Carolina over University of Texas El Paso. Of course, that bowl game is going to be on Monday on the 23rd. Then the next ACC game is going to be Pitt going to Toledo. This is going to be on December 26th on Thursday. Give me Pitt in that game. The next game we have, as far as the ACC goes, will be Georgia Tech going against Vandy. Now, this is an interesting game. Both these teams have shown flashes all year. Give me Georgia Tech in this. I think that game that they lost to Georgia really put a sour taste in their mouth, and they want to get Brent Keys the win here against an SEC team. Give me Georgia Tech over Vandy. That's right. Next game that I want to talk about is Syracuse going to Washington State. Now, Washington State not ranked, which I thought they would be at this time. They just had some bad luck there at the end. Syracuse getting that big win over Miami, ranked 21st right now. Give me Syracuse. The ACC is going to have a really good bowl season this year. Give me, of course, like I said, give me Syracuse over Washington State. The next game is UConn versus UNC. Now, we already know Mac Brown is not there anymore. Bill Belichick is the new coach of UNC. They get the win over UConn. I like UConn. They've gotten a little bit better there towards the end. But give me UNC in that game. Boston College takes on Nebraska. Now, these games are, like I said, the UNC game and this game are on Saturday, December 28th. So give me Nebraska over Boston College. I think Boston College is just going to run up against a very tough Nebraska team. Nebraska's trying to finish out strong to try to keep some of their recruits. The next game we have is Iowa State versus Miami. Miami, man. I really thought they was going to be able to get in there, have 3 ACC teams in the playoffs, but they just didn't make it. I feel bad for that team. I know they dropped the ball at the end. I'm not a big Miami fan, folks, so trust me. But I feel for that team. But they take on Iowa State. Give me Miami in this game. I think they're going to come out with some attitude, some anger, and they want to set a precedence for what's going to happen next year at the University of Miami. All right, and then we go to East Carolina taking on NC State. This game, I don't know. Both these teams struggled towards the end. Give me NC State in this game. I think they'll have just a little too much for East Carolina. And then, but after that, the next bowl we'll see with an ACC team is Louisville against Washington, and that's going to be in the Reliant Quest Bowl. You know what? Louisville finished off strong. Washington kind of limped in. Give me Louisville in this game. I really think the ACC's got some good matchups, so we'll see what happens there. And that's going to be pretty much it as far as the ACC goes, other than Virginia Tech on January 3rd will be taking on Minnesota. Give me Virginia Tech over Minnesota. Minnesota was not a very good team this year. And then, of course, after that, it's the playoffs. All right. Now, before I go any further, let me just kind of go over my playoff bracket. Once again, I've got Clemson beating Texas and taking on Arizona State. I've got Tennessee beating Ohio State, taking on Oregon. I've got SMU beating Penn State to take on Boise State. And then I've got Notre Dame beating Indiana to take on Georgia. All right, folks, when it goes after that, I've got Clemson beating Arizona State. That's right, Clemson beating Arizona State. I've got Tennessee losing to Oregon. So it'll be Clemson versus Oregon in the Final Four. In the next bracket, I've got SMU taking on Boise State. SMU wins and goes on. And then I've got Georgia beating Notre Dame. So in my last bracket, I've got Clemson versus Oregon, SMU versus Georgia. Georgia gets the win over SMU. Oregon beats Clemson. I'd love to say Clemson wins the national championship, but they're not. It's going to be Oregon versus Georgia in the national championship game, with Oregon getting the win. There you go. That's my picks for this week's TGFF Game Day College Show.
Hello everybody, it's your old pal Uncle Bobby. You love Arden's Burger and Grill because you know what? I got me a sampler platter, that's right. She made me a sampler platter of everything Uncle Bobby loves. Look at there, we got the s'mores French toast, ooh, we got some wings, and we got the powdered burger, and you know what, Uncle Bobby? He loves some wings, I'm telling you right now. You will not miss. I'll tell you, the double dip wings will make you double dip crazy. I'm telling you right now, it's the best thing you ever put in your mouth. Oh yeah, and French toast. Hey, they serve breakfast all day long. Uncle Bobby loves them from French toast. And folks, the Paladin Burger. Ooh, blueberry barbecue sauce, smoked Gouda cheese. Yum yum. Make sure you get down here to Arden's Burger and Grill Central. Uncle Bobby, I commend it, recommend it, everything that is amended, I do it here at Arden's Burger and Grill in Central South Carolina. And don't forget, they're going to open a place called Beef and Ribbies. That's right, it's going to be so good it sticks to your ribbies and makes you do this all day long. I'm telling you right now, come to Arden's Burger and Grill. TGF Game Day, we're here.
DGFF, thank God for football. Game day. 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 You have tuned in to another episode of Thank God for Football, brought to you by the Fanboys, powered by Greenville Sports Media.